afternoon.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast. It is Thursday.
August 2nd.
We're in August, guys.
July is gone.
Bye-bye, July.
Yep.
August is here. It's fair season here. August is the start of fair time. I think the Addison County Fair and Field Days starts this next week.
Probably. I know a lot of the ones in northern New York, which is just across the lake from us, have already started and been doing their thing.
So we are coming to you from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont. And this is generally a podcast about knitting and crocheting and spinning and yarn and fiber type stuff, but we talk on a lot of tangents and get off on other subjects like food and the weather and
just complaining about the weather and
again
the intake outtakes
again.
So if you stay to the end, which I know a lot of you do,
if all the comments last week were any indication, but it's mostly fiber related, yarn related. So
right,
and you can find the store out on all forms of social media as Must Love Yarn. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, World Wide Web, Twitter, YouTube, but hopefully you know that because you found the podcast on YouTube.
Unless they're watching on iTunes or our website.
Or the website, yes.
We have them all.
We're everywhere.
All dispersed at those various places now.
And I see Ravelry, somebody finally did the manual upgrade because like 7 episodes showed up on our page.
I know, it was really funny. So if you usually, just go to the Ravelry group and to click through to the podcast, they hadn't been updated, and all of a sudden I did notice the other day, towards the beginning of the week, that they were all the ones that hadn't. So.
Anyway, and I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find me out on social media, Ravelry and Instagram as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins, and you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins.
Nice. And feel free to follow or friend us on either of those platforms.
Yep.
Or the store as well.
Yep. So the store is just all store-related stuff, events, and yarn, and that kind of stuff. And our personal accounts are obviously
hodgepodge
more
of
personal.
Lots of other things.
They're going to be pets and projects and food.
Probably pictures of bottles of wine, because that seems to be what I take pictures of lately. It's funny. Anyway, anywho. So we like to start our podcast with our picks of the week.
We do.
And these are items that we select out of the store that we either want to introduce you to or reintroduce you to, and or maybe highlight in some fashion. And what we do is with the coupon code that we give you between the two products, you can get 10% off for 2 weeks following the release of the podcast. So in the online store or in store, if you do come into the store, just whoever checks you out, just remind them it's a pick of the week, because not everybody is up to date.
Can stay up with
or even literally, I was here working at an event and somebody was like, "Your pick of the week from last week," and I was like, "I don't know." Like,
let me go check the show notes.
To check the show notes, I have no idea. It's just so. Anywho, so even though it's like 1,000,000,000 degrees and humidity outside, are we ready for fall? No, I am.
I know, I've been like picking fall colors lately.
Me
but
too.
A lot of people are starting to knit Christmas
stuff,
presents already, and just to kind of start getting ready.
So my pick of the week this week would be perfect for either a Christmas present or holiday gift.
Or just getting ready for cold weather.
Hoping
for cold weather.
Here's wishing for cold weather. And people are cursing me who don't like the cold weather, but that's okay. So from Blue Sky Fibers, we have these awesome kits.
We've done these before, but we thought we'd just put them on again.
Yep.
So you guys, even if you don't want to knit them now, if you want to stock up and save them for when the weather is a little cooler, they're great. So they're really fun.
This is wool. These are all out of the wool stock. So this is the wool stock 21 color slouch hat kit. And as you can see, there's a mini skein in every color that is offered in wool stock, and it comes also with a pattern to make this great little slouchy hat. The hat kit retails for $26.50. And I think you've made the hat.
Mhm.
You had did you have quite a few leftovers?
Yeah, I think I could definitely make another hat. It wouldn't obviously be the same striping pattern because some of them you use almost all of the color, but you could definitely get another hat out of it. Or if you wanted to get another skein, you can make mittens from, you can probably, I say probably, make mittens with one extra skein, full-size skein, and the little bits.
So they've done that. Speaking of mittens, they also have the 21 color mitten kits, which again are all of the different colors plus a larger solid color, as you can see for the cuffs of the mittens and some of the other striping in the mittens.
Yeah.
This one retails for $33.99. It's just because you have this extra skein in there. I haven't actually done one of the mitten kits, but I would suspect you'd have the same thing, a lot of leftover yarn, and probably could almost squeak a hat out of this kit as well, for sure. Because you're not going to use, I mean, if you've made mittens, you don't use a huge amount of yarn. And then our third kit that we have,
we've got a couple different colors and stuff.
I just grabbed one of them, is the Sky Trio hat kit.
So it doesn't come with yarn to make all three, but it comes with the pattern, so you can choose which pattern you like, and then one colorway. So the colorway that's in this box is this one. So it's that really deep blue with the lighter blue and then the orange. So you can make, you don't have to make that hat, you can make any of the three hats.
And so it's, these kits are one larger skein and two mini skeins, and these retail for $19.99. So, and again, you know, I don't know how much of the mini skeins you use, but, you know, with it being a full skein, you know, hats, sometimes you might have leftovers, so maybe some fingerless mitts or, you know, something else. You don't think so?
These,
Not with
I
this
don't
one?
think you will,
Okay.
because you can basically get one full-size hat out of that.
Skein. Okay.
So, and then with the little stripe, it just adds a little bit. Don't listen to me. So for this particular one, I don't think you'll be able
Listen to Kelly. You'll get one out of this one.
Yeah.
These two, you might be able to squeak some
get
other
little bits
stuff out of.
it. Yeah.
So that's my pick this week, is the wool stock hat and mitten kits that we have in stock. I will link to all of those in show notes on our website. And so, you know what I think we should make our coupon code? Weekly pick wool stock rules.
Wool stock rules.
How's that?
That works.
Okay.
So wool stock is WOOLSTOK.
Yep.
There's no
and I
C.
put it down. I think it always ends up over here.
Oh, okay.
Because I always point here and then my finger's in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So I have to point at you.
At me. Where my knitting is.
Yeah. So we put the code down there. So weekly pick wool stock rules with an S.
Sweet.
And so where does that name come from, you say?
Well, the wool stock is apparent.
Yes.
The rules, though, I showed these last week, but they weren't a pick of the week, and they are our wrist rulers. See, I've got mine on.
Got mine on too.
So I've got the medium color.
I think mine's the light brown, because it's...
Yours is the brown.
The brown. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Because it's got the silver clasp instead of the...
Yeah, so the only one, so the black one has a brass ball for how they attach, and that one wants to come undone, so I'm just going to fix it so it doesn't. So there is gray, there's blue, there's natural, there's medium. Medium's the one that I have on. Mine's got some patina on it. And whenever they send them to, the stain that they use could be a little bit different, so you see how mine is quite a bit more reddish. But I've also had mine for a few months, so that makes a difference too. This is the dark brown like Ange has.
And you can see it's
and then the black.
pretty close.
They're subtle.
Yeah.
So you can see the numbers definitely on them, but it's a lot more subtle, so they don't look necessarily like you're just wearing a ruler. They retail normally for $20. These four here. The natural through the black, and then these two are $25. They're a little bit more expensive for those. So you'll get 10% off of those with coupon code weekly pick wool stuff rules, and they're fun. So they come in, we've got them in 3 different sizes, 15 inch, 16 inch, 17 inch. And what you want to do is measure twice around your wrist, and then if you want it to fit fairly snugly, add about an inch, half an inch to an inch, and was a loud dog. And that will make it fit fairly snugly. If you want it looser, obviously you just go up to whatever is comfortable, but you have to add the extra half inch to an inch to make sure that there's room for where it joins. So that's our pick of the week for this week.
We're back.
We are. At least we're kind of at a natural breaking point.
We were. Sorry for the dog bark. It's probably going to be lots of that in the next few months. So I'm not wearing any hand nets today.
No hand nets for me either.
Yeah, it's too hot. Not even wearing anything related necklaces or anything today.
I've got my wrist ruler on.
Well, I guess I have my wrist ruler too,
Mhm.
so that's fun. I do have
Keeping it real.
keeping it real. I do have a finished object,
Me too.
and I've counted as a finished object even though the ends aren't woven in. It's been blocked though, so I think that totally counts. And the ends may not get woven in for like months because it's literally too hot for anybody to wear it. So the little
It's so cute.
sweater is finished.
Look how cute that is.
So cute, guys. It's so stinking cute.
It's really cute.
It was a super fun pattern. So the yarn this is stuff that I dyed a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. So it's a custom colorway. I think it's a blue face luster mix. I don't have a tag for it, so I'm going totally off of memory, which actually just feeling it, it doesn't feel it. Well, it's soft now, but when it was pre-washed, it did not feel like a merino. It feels
Toothier.
which blue face luster is. But it's blue face luster is a sturdy yarn. And this is just a Patton's Croy sock, because this is for a little person, so it'd be nice to have something that's hard wearing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so that's cute. It's a cute pattern. I probably would make another one for a little person. There's an adult version, and I've eyeballed that for a while, but I don't know if it's really my style.
It's very casual. It's cute.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you had, some fingering weight yarn that you wanted to use up, a couple skeins of a semi-solid and then a couple skeins of a self-striping.
Yep. I mean, it was designed to use the self-striping yarns on the arm parts.
Because if you think about it, it's like knitting one long tube sock.
Yeah.
It's basically.
Yeah, and the way you pick up stitches and you do short rows to keep the
shoulder cap,
and then it just down it goes. So it's kind of a cool idea and
Nice.
cool design.
Yeah,
so.
it's cute. It's definitely cute, and it's a nice way of using yarn that you may not want to use for socks too. Some of the skeins you get, you're like, oh, it's too pretty for socks, or so.
I think we're gonna have a cameo. Hi, Carol and Ella. Hello, doggy face. Hello, doggy face. See,
Wild
you
woman.
never know what's gonna happen on this podcast. Literally, dogs, people, laughing hysterically, cake, meerkats.
Where's the cake?
There's
No
next
cake
week.
today,
That we were debating whether we should make it donuts.
because we might have an early morning podcast instead.
Yeah,
Might be coffee and donuts
coffee and donuts.
for our 100th episode, Carol.
Oh, well, I have to be around for that.
You'll have to come to my house, maybe.
Okay.
Okay,
So anyway,
so
Focus.
my finished object is one, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen, because I posted a finished object picture. It's my Jessie's girl. It's kind of hard. It looks like just a big brown square, but
the pictures you had on your Instagram yesterday were awesome.
yeah. So if you follow the link to my Ravelry page, or if you go to Instagram, you can see me wearing it.
So Do you set your camera up on a tripod with like a self timer, or does like Bob take those pictures for you?
So I have a little. If I'm feeling ambitious, I get my camera out and my tripod. But if I'm just feeling lazy, then I take my phone and I have a remote for my phone, and I have one spot, this vent on my house where I can wedge it in between the siding and the vent, or I have a tree branch where I can set it up in the tree, and that's what I do.
Got it.
I'm kind of, just kind of roll with it. Figure out stuff.
Because
that
your
works.
pictures always look so good, unlike mine where I'm like,
Sometimes I'll set the timer. Oh, if you don't know this, a lot of cameras have voice control. And you could either, a lot of them have like keywords. So if you say cheese or photo or picture, they're if you look on your phone, then you can say it, and then there's a slight delay. So that if you want to smile, you can smile, and then it'll take the picture.
That's cool. Check that out.
I've used that before. But sometimes I have to yell at it. I'm like, cheese!
That's probably funny in and of itself. You'd be like, it's a good thing you don't have close neighbors, because it'd be like, honey, that lady's out in the yard yelling cheese at her house again. She'd be worried.
Can you imagine? I know. Oh, that would be really funny. Yeah. So Jesse's Girl is done. I used Elizabeth LaVolle Empathy, and it was a pretty quick knit, and I think I'm going to get lots of layering use out of it.
Nice.
It's a great piece to layer.
Yeah.
So.
You can wear it in the summer over a tank, or even in the fall and winter over a long sleeve shirt. Yeah.
And I think that's probably, I'll end up wearing it over a long sleeve shirt more. I like the aesthetic, the look of it better that way. Oh, and there is, you can see at the bottom, there's actually, the hem in the back is longer than the hem in the front.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yep. So that's done.
Yay!
Yay! 2 finished objects in 2 weeks. Guys.
Me too, only because I counted the crochet, and somebody was giving me a hard time for not titling the podcast episode.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Crochet's fast even when you're bad at it.
That was a good line.
Oh, that's a good one. Almost a little too long for a podcast title, but I could have done it as the subtitle.
That was hilarious.
But I've been kind of I was going to say trucking along, and then I was like, no, you really haven't. So don't even say that. I turned the heel. I got the heel turned
Woohoo!
on my second sock. The little baby socks. I turned the heel at the Lake Monsters game this weekend. So now I just have the foot and the toe, because they're shorty socks, so that will go faster. But there's been a remarked lack of knitting time this week for me. So even I was at a meeting Tuesday afternoon, and I was like, yes, I have like 2 hours. But it turned out it was a meeting that's not one that it would have been really appropriate to be knitting at, because sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to gauge the audience.
Yeah, you always have your knitting with you, but you can't always pull it out.
It's not going to be super appropriate to have it pulled out at that meeting.
Yeah.
So, which was a bummer. Total bummer. Maybe the next one. Sometimes with a new group, I have to I have to ease it in slowly.
So you don't scare them too badly.
Yeah. Anyway. So been working on that, and you have a new project.
I do, but I'm not going to show that one right yet.
Oh, okay.
You can wait.
Oh.
I have 3 things other than finishing up my Jesse's Girl. I had most of these done, but one of these I did during the podcast, and I finished the other one. So I'm coming along.
You are. Look at that stack. Because crochet is fast, yo.
It is fast, even when you're good at it. Haha. So that one was a quick one. So that's with Classically Sprout, which I mentioned. Classically is closing their doors and going out of business. There's a number of yarn companies, unfortunately, that's happening too a lot. We've noticed over the summer. So if you guys haven't heard, wool prices and alpaca prices are both going up pretty significantly.
Buy more yarn.
Yeah. A lot of companies aren't raising prices until
They absolutely have
1st
to.
of August, which just happened,
Yeah.
or 15th of August. So they're allowing us to buy in at a lower price. And then we as Yarn Store, we always pass on the lower price to you guys. We don't raise the price until our prices go up.
Yeah.
When the next batch comes in. That's just what we do. So some yarn prices, some wool prices are going up fairly significantly. I'm sure a lot of the indie dyers are starting to feel the pinch. Some of them that haven't raised their prices in years
We're probably going to have to.
are probably going to have to. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but in some cases it's a 3% increase, which overall is fairly significant.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know what's going on, if you start seeing weird things going on in the yarn industry, there is some
Weirdness going on.
yeah. Just so you're aware. And
Yeah. Or if you start to see prices creep up.
Prices
or
go
it's-
up, yeah, yeah.
That's why it's happening.
And with these fluxes and changes within businesses, there's a big change with Talkie Stacey Charles, and then Classic Elite is closing,
Yeah.
and so there's a lot of these Mango Moon closing. So a lot of these names, they're either not always closing, but they might be shifting or changing or rebranding or doing something different. Debbie Bliss closing.
Right.
So just so you guys are aware, it's interesting time for the industry.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yep.
The indie dyers are really, really strong right now.
Yeah.
And I know that kind of changes the dynamic within the industry.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily a bad thing. It's just,
Different.
yeah. So,
What? Sucks.
well, this suck. So if
They
you've
suck.
been following the podcast for a good long time,
Did you pick up an Ancient Wits?
it is kind of, but it wasn't necessarily intentional that it was. I needed something for the ball game
Aha.
that was small, and I was kind of in between projects. And, socks are great. So this is Fiber Stash. This is some of her fun yarn, and it is her twinkle
Sparkle.
base. You can see the little twinkles in there. And both of these are hers, and both colorways. And so you'll see there's no heel. I'm going to do a true afterthought heel. There's not any scrap yarn in there, too. So I'm going to do true afterthought. This one has been done for a while. Look, there's Hedwig that
You're
Angela gave
so
me.
fancy.
I
Kelly.
started these right before Halloween. I think I actually had these
Was it last year
at
or
Rhinebeck.
before?
This
last year.
last year. Yeah, because I think I started them for the car ride down to Rhinebeck.
Okay.
So my little Hedwig is on there in my Harry Potter bag. This is like all perfect like Halloween, and the colors are great for Halloween.
Yeah.
So you can see where my mind is at. Like I'm totally into fall right now.
Mhm.
I think I'm trying to wish for cooler weather. So I got the cuff done, and
Nice.
and then I started just a wee little bit of the black. So that was my knitting for the baseball game, which we had so much fun.
It was fun.
We sold a bunch of tickets. A bunch of people came out
I got
for
to
the game.
throw prizes and shirts and things
Yeah.
at people in the stands.
And restoring things in the stands.
I might have thrown at some people that were not knitters because my aim's bad. Sorry.
The game was not the best game, unfortunately. The pitching was horrible. If you watch baseball at all, then you'll understand. It was a really slow game, and then the
Yeah.
Lake Monsters lost.
They did. I saw that they lost. We made it to about the seventh inning, I think, and then we had
It
to take
improved, like-
little people home.
Yeah, which a lot of people did. A list stand started like clearing out.
Yeah.
And also because it had been a kind of a slow game, but we thought they might come back. It ended up they lost by 1. Yeah, we stayed for the whole thing and fireworks and everything. So,
Nice.
which was fun. The fireworks there are fantastic.
Yeah, they are.
They do a really, really good job with the fireworks. So it was all in all a ton of fun.
Nice. It was, and we'll do it again next year. And
Yeah.
and while we're on the topic, down further in our show notes, we do have the baseball shirts still some in stock, and we also
medium and larges in stock that are just, they have our logo on the front and they're
Yep.
plain on the back.
Yep. And then we set up a pre-order.
Mhm.
If you want to order a specific size, so the company that we order from has extra smalls through 3XLs.
Yep.
And our pre-order form will also allow you to tell us if you want like your Ravelry name and a number put on the back.
So you have to put that in the comments section of your order. So
Yep.
if you pick your size, and then when you're checking out, there's a notes or comments section.
Yep.
If you type in there what you want for your number and if you want your Ravelry ID on the back too, you put all that information there so we can customize them, and they're not going to be any more expensive. It just means that it's going to take a little longer for us to get them.
Yep.
So if that's something you guys are interested in, we have to have what, at least 10?
We have to have at least 10 for the order to go through, and we've left it open for people to be able to order, I think, until August 17th.
So you've got a couple weeks.
Yep, and then the shirts would be here by the end of August.
Perfect.
So if you're interested in that and would like a shirt with your name, Ravelry name, which is what we did on the back of ours, go to the pre-order version and you can order the size you want, and in the notes tell us what you want on the back.
Yeah, and we've got that in show notes so that you can click through to it. You can also go to our website and just search baseball, and the 2 different shirts will come up. Just make sure you choose the pre-order one, because that has all of the size choices in it. Because when we order them, we did medium, large, and extra large, but this will allow you to get any size that you want, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So they're really soft, super soft shirts.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. So I think I had this cast on last week. Zwag, did I have that cast on, or did I just have everything all together? I can't remember.
You had just cast on.
Just cast it on. Wow, look at how far I've made it.
Wow, you're
Whoa,
into
I'm into the color
multicolor.
work, into the lace section.
Nice.
So this is a top-down sweater that's got a nice counter color lace panel. It's perfect for like maybe that one skein of very highly variegated sock yarn that you're like, I don't really know what to do with this. Find a solid.
Or if you just have one skein of
something
yarn that you really like that you want to.
You can use it as the counter color for this sweater pattern, and then pair it with a semi-solid. So that's what it is if you haven't seen it. It's been pretty popular. It's a Caitlin Hunter Boylan Knitworks pattern. And I'm kind of, chucking along. The problem with top-down sweaters is by the time you get to dividing for the sleeves, you have like 400 and some stitches on your needles. So each row takes a long time. But it's kind of fun because I'm in the lace chart now, and it's like I'm at the point where it's a 13 stitch repeat. So it's a little potato chippy because you're like, ooh, I'm just gonna do one more. I'm just gonna do one more set. I'm just gonna do one more set. And then before you know it, you're back around to the start of the round again and get to start a new row, to which you get to start, ooh, I'm just gonna do one more set. So I'm making some progress. I will have some decisions to make when we go camping as to whether this is going to come with me or whether I'm going to try to bring something else. I think if I get past the lace chart before we go, I will, because just
Lots of stock in it.
Lots of stock in it will be totally fine. But I really need a project that is, I don't have to be fiddling with paper so it's not blowing off my lap, or that I don't need a pattern for. So it may be one of those things where I just cast on another pair of socks, because in the end it's super easy and
portable and
small.
If they get a little bit of camping
Smudge
grime on them, it's
gonna
not
matter.
like the end of the world.
Yeah, we'll wash
They're
out.
socks.
They'll wash out.
So
What are you working on?
my project that I decided to cast on, even though I should be working on an Ancient Whips, is from, I know a lot of people say it Lane, but I'm pretty sure the magazine is pronounced Lina. So if you have, yeah, when most people ask for it, they're like, "Do you have Lane magazine?" And of course, we know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a Finnish magazine, Lina. It's all in English, and we have been carrying it since issue number 2. However, they finally did a reprint of all of the original issues. We have issues 1, 2, 3, and 5 in stock.
Wow.
When I reordered, we had a whole bunch of 4, so I didn't reorder 4, but then it all sold out. Which is funny. Yeah. So if you guys are also missing one of the issues for your collection like I was missing the very first one since we've been getting them at the store since the second one. You too can complete your collection, and I would highly encourage you to do so because I was thumbing through it and I was like, that's the sweater I need to knit. And then I found the next sweater that I'm going to knit in it as well.
Well, good job.
I know, right?
Good
So
job.
I was so excited. So the sweater I am working on is called Winterly, and it is by, I think her name is pronounced Suvi Samoli is the designer, and it is a top-down pullover sweater in fingering weight yarn. And the reason that I chose it is because last year at Rhinebeck, I got a yarn baby, and quite literally, it is a yarn baby. It is 8 1/4 ounces of luscious yarn. It is a fingering weight. It is a BFL nylon superwash yarn.
Look at that thing. It was an amazing find. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, where did you get that? And
It was
like,
the last one
it was
that
the
was
last
there.
one. And I was
So
like, no.
it's so funny. So I posted the beginnings of this on Instagram, and I tagged it's from Cece's Wool, and I tagged her on it, and she's like, I'm gonna have more of those this year. I probably shouldn't tell you all that because I'm gonna like go there and see what she's brought, but she's gonna have some more of these gigantic yarn babies
Oh,
there.
I'm so there.
So there's all the information about, oh, she's got merino on here.
Oh.
For some reason, I thought it was BFL. It feels more like a BFL. But it's not. It's merino. Okay, then.
Okay, I'm so going there for yarn babies.
Regardless, it's beautiful. And so this is this is a regular size game. This is the game. So yeah, I have a ball winder at home that can handle it. Thankfully, because then I didn't have to cut it when I was balling it up. But yeah, and I've done 2 swatches. My first swatch on the called for needles, which called for a size 4 for the gauge, was too small, so I went up to a 5, and that worked out beautifully. And I'll show you what it looks like knit up because it is gorgeous.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
So that is Winterly. I forgot to bring a picture of it over, but it's top down. The top yoke is done with just a simple garter stripe pattern, and then you switch to your main color, which mine is going to be this one because I've got a nice big skein of it. Is mostly stockinette, but there is an asymmetrical lace panel off to the side, so
Nice.
you're not just like mindlessly knitting a whole bunch of stockinette, which I adore doing sometimes, but I love lace. I love doing lace.
Yep. That would also be like
So-
a skein that you could pick up a couple, like 2 of them and knit like a boxy or,
Yeah,
something,
for
because
sure.
there's enough yardage there
Yep.
that
So my other yarn, the one that I held up here, this is a hedgehog fiber, and it is the truffle colorway. So you can see I'm
fall.
really thinking fall
Yeah.
here, and it's a little bit brighter than it's showing up pretty good there. So lots of browns, and there's a really cool magenta, black, gold.
Purple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's really fun, beautiful colors in it. So I have started, and I've made pretty good progress actually on
Ooh, look at you.
on the yoke. So it's on the needle, so it's a little bit hard to tell. But so there's the kind of garter pattern. Yeah, it's not really reading very well on screen.
No, it might.
No, it might. The lights just went out. So it's coming along really quickly. So I think it's going to be really fun together. So
I think so too.
that's kind
That'd
of.
be awesome.
So the lace is going to show up beautifully in this, kind of tonal orange color, and then this is going to be in the top. And since this doesn't have any lace, it's just the garter stripes. It'll be nice, and it will be very wearable just because it's a fingering weight, and so this might be my Randbeck sweater.
Nice.
Although if I say that, I might jinx myself for not getting
I
it done.
know. Or if you saw Hoagie Locatelli's new short sleeve T-shirt pattern that just came out this week with as a part of, I think, a Madeline Tosh line.
Yeah.
You probably, depending on what size you wear, out of one of those yarn babies, could knit one of those.
Yeah, you probably could.
Was not a huge amount of yardage.
Yeah.
So.
So the other pattern that I'm gonna knit out of issue 1 is the Lane's sweater, and it's I believe a Hoagie Locatelli pattern, and it's a really simple cardigan, but it's got a collar that kind of stands up. Gets wider, almost like you would do a shawl collar, but not so that it flips over on itself. And I have a fiber stash in her DK base. It's a tweed base, and her TARDIS blue color, that really lovely blue that she's got. And I bought that when she.
It was a couple
not
trunk shows.
It
ago.
wasn't the last trunk show that we did.
before.
It was the one before that, and I loved it. And I was saving it because I don't want to just like knit anything, and I have enough. Plenty of yarn to knit that, and I'm so excited about it because it's just a really nice simple pattern, but I love how the collar comes up in the back, and it's just gonna be it's perfect. It's
nice.
Perfect. I'm so excited. Like I want to cast both of them on and just kind of like knit, but I'm like just that having a plan for it makes me exceedingly happy.
So I was winding yarn this weekend because I had to wind the yarn for Zwag, and so I decided that I thought that I should wind all the yarn for the Maritimo, which I showed last week, because I was considering casting that on as well, because why not have like 2 sweaters on the needles for an adult at the same time? Isn't that what everybody does?
See?
I know, right? And when I was winding the teal color, the dark turquoise, there was a huge amount of dye transfer that was coming. So when I wind, I generally I have my hand on the yarn that's between the Swift and the ball winder, not just guiding it, or
you can feel knots and
checking for knots, or if something snags, I can feel it faster than if I'm just not paying attention. And what happened was when the yarn was running across my fingers, there was a huge amount of transfer of color. And so I don't know if it's because there was just extra dye and it's dried dye that needs to just get washed off. I don't know if it's because the dye's not set. So I can't start working with it. The yarn that was getting caked now needs to be put back into a skein, so I can treat it in some fashion. It may need a citric acid soak in
I would
heat.
probably do both and then rinse it, just
Yeah.
because if there's some that's not set, you don't want to rinse that out and then have it not be that nice saturated color.
So I had a little setback with wanting to cast that on, but that happens sometimes, and I'm actually glad that it happened when it did, instead of putting the project all together and then having something bleed
onto the other.
because that would have been horrible. So it's just going to take some time. I do have a knitting naughty, so I just have to find the time to.
You can bring it to my house because I have a skeiner.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Of course I do, right?
I'm gonna take it to Kelly's house and we're gonna skein it back up, and then citric acid soak it and dry it and see where we are. So, but it's got to be done because I'm not gonna be able to use that yarn until it's done. Even if I decided, I'm gonna use this for a different project, like it just I have to do it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. And in the meantime, I've been trying to figure out some other projects because I've got a bunch of different sweater quantities worth of yarn, and I've been eyeballing the Tenya, because it's so pretty.
It is. A lot of people have been doing that, and it's really pretty.
So pretty. But I have quite a few different bunches of sweaters quantity of fingering weight yarn, but I don't know. I just don't know if I want to sacrifice a whole sweater's quantity because it's like 4 skeins, but I maybe only need like 2.5. And do I want to then have a skein and a half left over? Then I'm like, what do I do with this? And then I have some other sets where I have like two skeins of one color, but I probably need more than 2 skeins. These are clearly knitting problems.
You know,
what's a girl to do?
These kind of problems I can handle.
I know. Buy more yarn. That's how you solve that problem. No, actually, this is when I go toss my stash and really confirm that I don't have anything in there that I can't use, or make the decision to sacrifice one of the sweater quantities to just start getting things off and getting things out of my stash.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go to Rhinebeck Yo, and I need to be able to justify like buying some more yarn. Because right now I can't.
And it's market research for the store because, you know, we buy yarn, and if we like it,
sometimes
then
it shows up here.
we try to work it, even if we do just a short run for like a Seasons of Vermont box, or just a short run to do in the store for a little while or something, because
Special project.
Yeah, not always. A lot of indie dyers,
Want
they
a
can't
wholesale.
take on a wholesale account, but a lot of times they will work with you either for a special project or they'll do like a small batch, you know, whether it's 50 skeins, and that's you know your limit for a season or whatever. But a lot of times we'll be accommodating, which I know they want to be. They just
it's a time thing.
It is. So many of them are working full-time jobs and doing the dyeing as well. So we completely get it, but we just love the yarn so much that we're just tickled to be able to work with them and bring new exciting yarns into the store as well.
Absolutely.
So, yep.
So, I mean, it's not like my stash doesn't need to get tossed anyway. And then, of course, Hohia Locatelli released that new shawl pattern. The
curves.
Slopey curves or gentle
slow curves. Slow curves.
I bought it, of course, because
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And
and Kelsey at Primrose is doing kits for them. And then we just got some new Primrose, and I was like, those 4 would work perfect together.
I don't need to know that because I was trying to like work through my stash, but the problem again is one of those colors. I think you need 2 skeins, or you need at least 450 yards for one of the colors.
Yep.
So.
I know it is really lovely.
That might be something if I could figure out what colors I was going to use and got it skeined up. That's a project conceivably I could take with me, because most of her patterns tend to be pretty intuitive, and you don't need a pattern. I mean, you need the pattern, but
once you figure out where she's going with it, you can kind of just go. Yeah.
Or I might cast on something like a boxy, because that's something else I've been thinking about. You know, some of those sweater quantities worth of fingering weight yarn that I have. You know those?
I know something about those. I'll show you my acquisition here in a minute.
I have that really pretty wine-colored yarn that from what's her name? It's her naughty line. It's got.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of it.
It's the name's like right here in the front.
As soon as she like pushes the stop button
I'll be like,
for recording,
oh,
she's gonna remember it.
I'll bring it in. I think I have enough of that to make a boxy.
Nice.
That would be a pretty boxy, actually.
I haven't looked to see how much I would need for a boxy. I didn't know if I was gonna. If I would like the way it looked on me, but I've seen it on so many different body types, and it's really cute and looks so comfy, So I had kind of written it off for me.
Yeah.
But then more and more people are doing it. Actually, a customer of ours who watches, hi Jen, she actually, a bunch of them decided to do it. She went to the SSK knitting retreat, and she came in yesterday, and she did it for the retreat, and because of course it's lots of stockinette, and you can sit around and chat.
Yeah.
And she got so much done at the retreat and had a blast at the retreat.
Nice.
It looked like so much fun, which is hosted by the Knit Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And but she was starting another one because she just loved it so much.
Well, that's
and she's using some kind of brighter, variegated, fun sock yarn, which is a great use for it because it's, a fairly plain sweater.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get wild with the yarn.
Absolutely. All right. Well, maybe I will go pull that yarn out of my stash and consider, because that would make a perfect camping project because it's miles and miles of stockinette. The yarn I'm considering using is dark, so if it gets dropped on the ground, it's not. I don't have to worry about getting it stained or soot or ash or something.
Don't get any s'mores on it.
Yeah, wash out.
My dentist was actually talking today. She's like, all I can think about is going home and having s'mores. She's like, I hope it doesn't rain. And I was like, that's just the most random thing.
That is random.
It was really cute.
Okay. All right, now I'm inspired. I've been wanting to make a boxy forever, and I've waffled back and forth between the fingering weight.
Did you
and the
do a little
worsted weight.
boxy?
Did a little boxy. Yeah,
Okay.
I did. But I've been wanting to make one for myself. Grown-up
There's
version.
so many variations on it. It's kind of cute.
I think I'm gonna go the traditional, not the V-neck, the traditional rolled neck fingering weight for now. I might
So,
consider making
original
original boxy. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So we'll see if I cast that on this weekend, because as one does.
Yeah. One does.
One does. And someday I still am gonna make this winter lake shawl. I've got the yarn all for it, but that's definitely not a camping project.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, I was really good this week. I didn't buy anything.
I didn't either. Well, is that true? I think that's mostly true. However, my yarn came from Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Mhm. So it took like 2 weeks to get here, but that's okay.
It's all right.
I can wait. I don't have enough yarn or anything to
It's
keep me
not
busy.
like you're gonna run out of projects.
So it's really crinkly. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Because it's fun. Crinkle means really fun things. So,
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Knitly Road is the company.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
And this is British Blueface Leicester. It's 100% superwash. It's a fingering weight. The colorway is called Wool Gathering. And it's this lovely kind of minty, tealy, light green. And then it's got specks of darker green and gold in it. And it's super fun. And I got
gorgeous.
3 skeins because that's what she had left. And then I saw a sock blanket, and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty because it had some really pretty golds and everything on it. Not really thinking about the other yarn that I had put in my cart from her. And it was so funny because she put in her note, she sends this cute little thank you tag
Well, that
with a
is
little
nice.
progress keeper on it. And she's like, you might just want to alternate your skein because the way I dye the blank is so much different from the way I dye. And it was so funny, like I hadn't even put 2 and 2 together that
They would
were the
match
same.
Yeah.
And it is technically the same colorway even. But this one, this caught my eye because it had like the really bright splashes of the
Yeah.
greeny gold on it. So, I'm not going to use them together. I'm going to use this for one thing and this probably for socks. But it was just so
That's
funny
funny.
because I hadn't put that together until I was reading her note. And I'm like, oh.
The light bulb goes off
I know.
above Kelly's head.
And it's so funny because I didn't even look at the colorway name. I just was like, oh, that's pretty. And,
Ooh.
in the cart it
Oh,
goes.
shiny.
And go support your Canadian dyers because the
Dollar's
U.S.
strong
dollar
right now.
is, for the Canadian, the exchange is really good. So I felt like I was making it like a bandit.
There you go.
And it's just, we love our neighbors to the north because
Mhm.
we're right on the border with Canada. So
Yeah.
we get a lot of lovely, lovely people down from Canada to visit us.
Yes.
So more Nitley Road. This is for the Countess Ablaze collection, and I'm going to show you the tag, which has on it what the collection, the collective is called. So if you're offended easily or by somewhat coarse language referring to the female anatomy, then look
Close your
away.
eyes.
So there it is, and I just really loved her rendition of the yarn. So the yarn
gorgeous.
is a merino and mulberry silk. It is so unbelievably soft and amazing.
That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So she had one that was kind of a really light speckly skein, and then she had one that was more semi-solid but with splashes of the same colors in them. So they're really lovely.
Awesome.
Super soft. So that's what I got. And I think she had on here her charity. So $5.25 from each skein has been donated to True Patriot Love, Captain Nicola Goddard Fund to support military service women, veterans, and their families.
Nice.
So everybody who participated in the collective picked their own charity to donate to. So she
Which
wrote
is
me
amazing.
a really nice little note in here, and then
Nice.
of course the little Canadian maple leaf.
Awesome.
So that was really sweet, and yeah, the yarn is lovely. So check her out.
Sweet.
If you haven't yet, I'll give her a little plug because she was great, and she actually refunded some of the shipping because it ended up being less than what.
Nice.
Yeah, so she refunded me like $5 in shipping, and I'm like, oh, that was
Okay.
really sweet.
Yeah.
For her to do that.
Cool.
So that was my acquisition. It's something that I bought a few weeks ago, but it just arrived today, so it's kind of like, or not today, it arrived earlier in the weekend. It was like Christmas. So.
Yay. I'll bring in my Peggy Jane fibers yarn that I
Yeah.
got from that as well. It's sitting. Oh no, I took it home. It was sitting on my desk for a while because I had it shipped to my office.
Mhm.
But it's at home now. That also would make a good boxy, but I think I'm gonna save it for something else. Because I did get 4 skeins. I originally ordered 3 skeins, and then she said she still had some more, and I messaged her, and I was like, can I just get 1 more skein, and can you throw it in with my other order, and can you just send me a PayPal invoice? And she was like, oh yeah, no problem.
That's so funny.
Totally fine. So
I know. I've got to contact some of our indie dyers. We're getting so low on some of their yarns.
yeah, well, that's what happens over the summer. We have so many tourists that come in. They want to
They want
buy
the local beautiful.
stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. I know
So.
you want to go greet the customers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ella
You
wants to
can't.
be official greeter.
I know, she does. She does. So I think we've got a couple of prizes to give away for the summer t-shirt knit along. Hey, shh. Shh. Because I think we're about out of patience here with Doggy's about out of patience.
Yes, she is.
So I locked the thread earlier today and did randomnumber.org. Although I'm sure you all love to watch us the one time that we did it live. Which
Like,
is,
hold on. Hold that thought.
Hold that thought, which is why we don't do it live. Because, anyway. So we had like 49 entries or something. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
it. All right, so prizes. All right, so we've got these great project bags that Kelly's mom sewed. And in one of the project bags, we have these 3 skeins of Noro Curion.
Yeah, the Curion.
So it's 150 grams worth of total of worsted weight yarn. So that's in one of the prize bags. And in the other prize bag, we have this great skein of silky alpaca lace from Classic Elite, and this really pretty blue and
really
green
pretty.
color,
Purples.
purples,
Lovely.
and along with a needle minder. Hey, shh. 5 more minutes.
Yes.
So our 2 prize winners, drum roll,
I can't do drum roll.
Oh, me neither. All right, so for this prize right here, our lucky winner, random.org, said the lucky winner of the summer t-shirt knit along is post number 47. Woo! Who we've been through this before. It's Tammy.
Tammy Wales.
Tammy from Delaware, and she had to go all fancy and make her Ravelry name. Her last name spelled backwards. Because we were stumbling over, like,
I know, we're like, how do we say it?
So she made a tenga. Beautiful. There it is. So, Tammy, I would say message us your address, but we probably have it. But
I think I do.
okay, so we have it.
Just let us know that you saw this. So we don't want to just, like,
Shh,
pop
randomly.
it in the mail
Yeah.
and you were like, what is this? Magic
Shoot us,
yarn?
shoot us a message and let us know you saw this, and we'll
And
mail
just let
this
me know
out.
that your address hasn't changed because I
Right,
do
oh,
have it
there's
in the
that too.
system. So as long as your address is the same.
Shh.
Wild
All
dog.
right. So our second prize winner. Hey, enough. People want to listen to us, not you.
They want to see her though, not
They want to see. We'll flip the camera around at the end so you can get a shot. Okay. Winner number 2. Prize number 2 is post number 30. There she goes
Woo!
from California. And look, guys.
It's crocheted!
It's crocheted! And she also says that it's her first crocheted garment.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That is amazing. So you are the winner of the Curion and the project bag. So if you could email or message either myself or Kelly on Ravelry or through the store with your address, we will get this prize shipped out to you. So congratulations, guys.
Yay!
And thank you so much
Oh
for
my gosh,
participating.
yeah. That was so fun.
Yeah. Super fun.
And I got mine done in time. Not that I'm eligible for prizes.
Mine got done only because of the seaming fairy. If there was no seaming fairy, mine would still be in pieces in a bag somewhere. For sure. So we have 3 knit alongs still going. We have the multicolor summer shawl along, which is running through the middle of September.
Yep.
We have the ancient whips cowl and its little cousin, the frogget thread. So dig out that old stuff. If you're not gonna knit it or crochet it, frog it, throw it in the frogget thread, and we'll pull some prizes from there. That one's running through, I can't even remember, end of September.
Yep.
And then we have the baby along, the baby cowl, also known as knit baby garments. I have been approving baby blankets. Like, you know, if you're not sure, throw a question up in the chatter thread. Does this work? And I almost can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be like, yep,
Go for it.
go for it.
Yeah.
So I've, approved baby blankets, baby garments, 24 months and younger. Knit stuff for the little people. Seems like there's a lot of babies being born.
Lots of
So, or if you're like me, you combine the ancient whips cowl with the bebe along,
Right. Double dip.
double dip. I think
Look at it coming.
I know. I think I need to take these out. I think
Oh.
they're pulling in too much. I'm on the fence because it's for a baby.
And you don't think it's gonna block?
I already
some-
blocked it.
Oh, you did.
I already blocked
Oh, that's
it.
right. You said.
Yeah. I think I needed, and for some reason, I did not do a stretchy bind off on the neck one. I have no idea what I was thinking. Like, literally, it's not. I'm not sure that hole right there is big enough for a baby neck.
Definitely not a baby head, but at least it's a cardigan.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was having a moment, guys. I think all of this edging stuff is gonna have to get ripped out and done again.
Oh, darn it.
Because I picked up too many stitches. That's why it's pulling in like that. Need to pick up less stitches. I know. I've been thinking that it's for a baby. It's close enough. But if you're gonna do it right. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a true finished object next week instead of like with ends everywhere trying to pass it off as a finished object, like my other one. The sock cards. you know what'll happen? I'll weave those ends in like a month, and I'll try to count it as a finished object again. Be like, look, guys, I got a finished object.
It's completely done. I know. I could have brought my baby.
I wove in the ends.
The little Gramps cardigan in that I did.
'Cause
the
you blocked
Tin Can
it.
Knits one. Because I blocked it. I gotta take pictures of it still though.
So funny.
Yep.
So funny. So we should probably about wrap this.
And Ange did prizes for the last podcast we did in the outtakes. So if you played along,
with the meerkat game,
keep watching.
more prizes.
More prizes. Because this is how we roll.
I thought I was fairly subdued with the prizes given the last Instagram game that I played.
Yeah. It was definitely a little bit better than when you did that
I'm learning.
one.
I'm getting more organized. I'm figuring this out.
People thought
sorry.
Meerkat was hilarious.
I know. We have this National Geographic. We get National Geographic for kids, and one of the issues has meerkats in it, and Abigail is obsessed with that. And we look at it all the time. She's like, meerkats. And so it just popped in my head, and I was like, oh, I'll just go with it because it's kind of a weird
Meerkats
thing.
are pretty cute.
They are cute. And I think, it's also partially tied into the fact that, although I'm a lawyer by trade, that's what I do for my day job. Like, all of my undergraduate degrees are in the sciences. So we have a lot of, love for the natural world and natural sciences in my house. My kids do, too. So,
Yep.
hence, my 2-year-old knows about meerkats. So, super fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Look,
So-
I cut my bangs.
I saw it. It looks good. I like it. Do you like it?
I do.
Do you get surprised when you look at the mirror in the mirror?
Not anymore. Yesterday I
Okay.
was a little bit, but it was really funny. So I parted everything and had it my hair is this long, so I cut off this much hair. So I was standing there in the mirror. I had everything all lined up, and I had the scissors, and I was like, do I want bangs? I don't know. Do I want bangs? For about just a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden I was like, yep.
The cool thing about hair?
It grows
grows
back.
back.
I've never been one of those people that gets really upset if somebody cuts my hair badly or anything. I'm just like, whatever.
It'll grow out. Or you just getting
Actually, I do.
I kind of like it.
It's kind of fun. So, I needed a little change, some change that I could
Do yourself.
bring about.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes
something.
you just gotta cause a little.
Sometimes
bit
you
of
just have to cut yourself some bangs.
change. That's a great
That's
title.
gonna be the title of our podcast. Sometimes you just need bangs.
Yep. So yeah, I'm liking them. They're kind of fun. I do have to kind of train them to do the right thing though, because I've been wearing my hair back so much. My hair is I want to be going.
Well,
like
and
this.
it looks like you have I've got cowlicks right here.
I actually don't much.
Don't?
No, it's just because I've been training it to go forward
Oh.
instead of back, and it'll take a little
I
while.
have a cowlick right here.
Do you?
Which is part of the reason why I wear my hair the way I do, and have the part where it is, because otherwise, good luck
Yeah.
trying to get that center part down this head. Not gonna work super well.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yep. But other than that, it's been toasty.
So-
and,
guys, next week,
it's gonna be our 100th episode.
so there'll be some shenanigans, and
You might be watching us from the craft
we
bunker.
might be in the craft bunker.
Mhm.
But we're gonna have a fun, probably silly episode for you next week, and then there's some debate as to whether we can pull off.
Because Ange's gonna be out of
I'm
town.
gonna be away the week after, so we're gonna try to pre-tape an episode. But if we can't make that happen, i.e., I can't make it happen, we might be without a podcast the week of the 13th. So just if we're not there, that's what's going on, and we'll be back the following week.
Yep.
So, but join us next week for episode 100. It's gonna be a hoot nanny. Hoot nanny. I might bust out the Chewy mask again.
Oh,
You guys love the
no.
Chewy mask. Well, if we're coming to the craft bunker, I don't have to worry about scaring Abigail because she still can't stand the Chewy mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's kind of scary. It's totally weird.
Oh boy.
Wah, wah.
Thank you to all of our new
Yes.
subscribers. We've had an awful lot. You guys were almost at 3,000
I know,
subscribers.
that's awesome.
That's an awful lot of you that are sending us
Yes.
a lot of love.
Yes.
Which we
We
love.
totally appreciate it.
Hmm.
Yes.
We love the love.
We love the love.
Mhm.
Love the love.
Yeah.
That would be a good title too.
I know.
Love the love.
Love the love.
I might have to go with that one because it's shorter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love the love. Sweet.
Sweet.
So yeah, thank you, and we'll have everything in show notes so you can find it there. And we do show notes on our website, but we link to them in down below
Mhm.
on YouTube, so you can find it, or you can just go to muscleupyarn.com and then go to podcasts, and it's there. And I think that about does it.
Yeah.
Happy August, everybody.
Happy August. Thank you for coming and knitting or crocheting or drinking your coffee with us.
Mhm.
Or your glass
I
of
know,
wine or
it's so
whatever.
cute. We have, people that watch us throughout. Some people watch us first thing on Friday when it comes out, and they'll sit down with their coffee and watch us. And other people save it because it's like their weekend. It's their entry into weekend.
Yep.
So they'll, watch it on Friday evening or.
Saturday
I
morning.
always love hearing stories and when they're joining us and what they're doing
Yeah.
and how they're
Yeah.
knitting along with us. Or some people like cook and watch podcasts. I do that a lot. Or
Me too.
have them going at different times. So it's always fun. I love to know how you're joining us. So
Yeah.
but however you do it, I hope you guys have a great
Yes.
weekend.
Yes. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Maybe you should send the dog with a kid.
Don't tempt me. Because I might. She went to doggy daycare on Tuesday. It was, it was a little overwhelming for her, but I think as she goes back, it'll be good. So
Yeah.
We've been going to the dog park, and she's been
Enjoying that.
warming up a little bit to the idea of interacting with other canines. She tries to play with the cats at home, and the cats are like, whoa.
Too much, dog.
Step back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe. Mm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So,
It's not cake, but
that'll be next week, though. When I was driving here, I was driving by Dunkin' Donuts, and I was like, we should do donuts next week. Mix it up a little bit. We're equal opportunity deserters.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that has nothing to do with knitting. It has our
I
fuel,
just got my pre-buy.
our fuel company that we've been using for more than 10 years is no longer delivering fuel.
Oh,
So
no.
that's helpful. So we have to find a new company.
That's who I go with.
You like them?
They're awesome.
Okay. Because we used the one that was in Bristol, and they're not
Really?
delivering fuel anymore.
Hmm.
They're still doing like boiler inspections and things, and we need to schedule that. And I was like, no, we'll just go with the new company.
Yeah.
Like, why
I
would-
love them. They're great. They're a nice small company. They
yeah.
respond and
They deliver fuel to my office. So, all right. So Meerkat apparently got a huge amount of traction.
awesome.
So, guys, I made a list of everybody who commented.
And you're
used-
still commenting.
And I know, and up until about noon today, who used the word meerkat, and I put you in a list, and I random number generated, and random.org says the second winner is, because you know I was going to do this. Some of you knew. If you're new, play
If you know
along.
Angela.
Play along no matter what, because
I
generally
know.
there's more than one winner.
Mm-hmm.
So, random.org says winner number 2 is Sarah Shetland, who commented at some point in the last week, Meerkat, from the last podcast. So, Sarah, if you will email me or message me on Ravelry at angela@muscleupyarn.com with your Ravelry ID, if you're on Ravelry, and the pattern that you would like me to gift to you, single pattern up to $7, I would be more than happy to do that. So, thanks for playing, guys. That was super fun. And there'll be more shenanigans next week.
There's always shenanigans.
Well, there's always shenanigans, but there'll be even more because it's the 100th episode. And then I don't know, what do you want to do? Do you want to take the week off?
After that? I don't
I'm going
know.
to be gone, or do we want to try to do a tight turnaround squeak shoot? I mean, I'm not leaving till Monday, so we could shoot something over the weekend if we wanted from the craft bunker or something on like Sunday. Or...
That's fine because I'm a widow this weekend. Well, not a real widow.
Okay. Well, it'd be next weekend. Because it's the week of the 13th that I'm gone.
Oh, right. Okay, so well, we probably could still do something then.
We'll figure something out. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
And if
Sounds
you-
like we're not taking a week off.
Well, if
perhaps.
we do, then
We'll take a week
you
off.
guys know we'll be back.
Yeah.
So,
It's possible. So no episode goes up the week of the 13th. It's because we could not get our act together to, probably me, more than Kelly, could not get the act together to shoot at a weird time before I leave to go on vacation. Go camping in the middle of nowhere with no cell service and Wi-Fi with 2 small kids and a dog. Needless to say, I scheduled a chiropractic appointment for the Wednesday after we get back.
mhm.
sleeping on, even though it's an air mattress for four nights. We're going Monday through Friday. So my body's like, why do you do this to me? But anyway, it's fine. It's totally fine. Let me see if there's any other fun, exciting things. See, look, she settled down. We'll see how long that lasts.
Right.
We did go to the dog park, so she was running around and throwing dirt at me. She's a digger. She's a digger. And
Winnie-
I did
Winnie does,
not
too.
get out of the line of fire. I was not paying attention, and I got a dirt shower from like my knee down. I was like, really? She's got some pretty good distance. I thought I was safe where I was standing. Nope. Luckily, it's the fancy dog park in Shelburne, so they have like a spigot with where I can wash my legs off
Oh,
and
perfect.
wash my feet off and all that fun stuff. But, so it's day number 794 of extreme humidity and heat in Vermont.
It's not that hot though.
It's not hot. It's wicked humid out there, though.
It is pretty soupy.
It's pretty soupy.
It's supposed to get hotter though. I guess the beginning of next week is supposed to be back in the 90s.
That's all I have to say about that. So,
Yeah, my husband was telling me that July was the hottest month on record ever
mhm. I believe it.
in recorded weather history
I totally believe it.
for the world.
Forever and ever. Since
Well, probably not the world, but the
Since,
northern.
like-
Well, I guess it could be because even if it was hotter than, because obviously the southern hemisphere is in winter right now. But
Mhm. That's
But
crazy.
overall-
pants. Crazy
Hottest.
So, well, should we? I don't know. Should we get this going? We're like,
Mm-hmm. I did dentist appointment this morning. Just cleaning. No cavities.
That's good. Good job, Cal.
I know, I got a gold star. I've only ever had 2 cavities. They were both when, like, I was in my 20s. They're like, yeah, we don't really have to fill this. It's kind of small, but...
I have a couple of, I don't even know what they call it. I have like really deep crevices in my molars.
Oh, yeah.
And so occasionally they have to clean out some of the crevices, and it's not
Hmm.
a true sealant. I think it's like a mini filling of some sort. I
Oh,
don't
really?
know.
They put, they actually, I had the sealant, I had sealants done when I was a kid, and then they were looking at my teeth, and I kind of have the same, mine are pretty deep, and they're like, well, you know, there's still some remnants of your sealant left. Do you want us to reseal your teeth? I was like, sure. So
Yeah.
now they're good to go for another, who knows how long.
Yeah. So, soft spot. They're probably actually fillings. I go to a place in Shelburne, and they're like, you have a couple soft spots. So maybe we can't use the word fillings? I don't know. Shelburne's an interesting place sometimes. All right. All righty. Podcasting. I left Really? Lay down. Eat your cookie and lay down. You're just bound and determined to have to make me edit a whole bunch of stuff, aren't you? I'm wondering if all that water she drank when we first got here is catching up with her. Let's take a 5-minute. Hey,
Uh-oh.
enough. Enough. Shh. Sit down. Sit down. All right. I'll have to cut all of that out or put it into the outtakes.
Oh.
You're violating the rules back here. I'm just gonna tell you that. You're too loud. Ella! Enough. Lay down. Alright, we'll go really quick. There she is. There she is, the trouble dog right there.
Aw.
You're going in the outtakes.
Ella.
Look at that sweet face.
I know, she's like, me?
What? I didn't do anything. I just want to get out of jail.